right, what I'm going to do now is put on what I learned as a Cape Horn seizing when I was working aboard Balclutha. It is, in its simplest form, a Spanish windlass made out of seizing wire. We all know that there's plenty of scrap salvage seizing wire anytime you have a rigging job. So if you find yourself in a situation where maybe you have only one rigger screw, or maybe you don't have any rigging screws, and you need to draw legs together, and more importantly, keep them together for doing a seizing. This is the forestay on the waiver tree. The seizing is going to begin here and go down, so we need to ensure that this part stays tight and flat when we do the seizing. So to remove this rigger screw, I'm going to put one of these Cape Horn seizings. Now you can either use a individual piece like this here, just cut it approximately the length, bend it around, or in this case I'm actually going to, I found a nice long piece of scrap that I'm going to double. So I formed a bite, see, like that there, it's just double. I'm going to pass it, keeping the two bites in symmetry, pass it around. I'm going to put my spike through it and get everything lined up. Because once I start this, it's kind of hard to stop. And I put a piece of leather here as chafe to protect the surface underneath. And you can see how, in its simplest form, all it is a Spanish windlass. I'm keeping this leg of the bite straight, and I'm going to pass the smaller bite that was formed around it. You can see how it is really starting to tighten down. That is absolutely bar tight now. A little bit more. Okay. Now what I usually will do is snip these ends off, because as I mentioned, you're not using a new piece of seizing wire. You want to grab just a piece of scrap. So I'll come back and trim these short. So here you can see this is one that's been doubled. Here's one that was put on earlier that's single. Now when we slack away this rigging screw, these rigger screws are worth their weight in gold if you ever come across them. We have an eye that's not going to move. Now we can put this into a vise. We can do this, clap this seizing on horizontally, which is probably what we're going to do. This is an awful bit, as you can see, this eye, this bite of the eye is awful large. It's very heavy, and it also extends down for quite a ways. It's 1.5 inch wire, so it's heavy. It's going to be a lot easier just clapping this seizing on horizontal instead of putting it in a vise and doing it vertical. And that's it. Cape Horn seizing.